Let's turn our attention to the Republican nominee for president, Donald Trump. Dean Heller was on the program, and there was no way he was in any way going to support Donald Trump and would not endorse him. It sounded like he wasn't going to vote for him either. What is your thought on Donald Trump as the nominee?
Well, I had always said I did not endorse anybody in the presidential nominating process, and I said that I would support whomever the eventual nominee was coming out of the convention, and that's still my position and my plan. I will support the nominee who comes out of the convention, and at this point it's the presumptive nominee, and so I will support him.
Do you have concerns about the things that he continues to say?
Well, certainly I don't agree with the way he talks about women or the way he talks about Hispanics or other minorities. I don't agree with all his policy provisions, and he needs to tone down his rhetoric and become more measured. I mean, if he expects to win the vote of my mom, my wife, and my 2 daughters, he's going to need to change his tone. But when you look at what's happened over the last 8 years of this administration, if he's going to make America great again and bring jobs back to America, then as the next senator from Nevada, I'll work with him to achieve those goals, hold him accountable, and stand as a check against anything that's not in Nevada's best interests.
Do you not believe that America is great currently?
I believe America is it's the greatest country on the face of the earth, certainly. But you can always be greater.
Okay. Are you not surprised, I guess, then, that Paul Ryan, at this point, as we're taping this interview, has still not endorsed Trump?
I had not heard whether or not. I know he came out last week and said that he was going to support Donald Trump.
Right.
So,
but he hasn't. He's kind of backpedaled on that.
Well, again, I mean, everybody's going to have to make their own decision about where they are in the presidential race, and I look at who the 2 presumptive nominees are, and I have to make a determination on who I think is going to be the best of those 2. And I believe that when it comes down to who has the opportunity to actually have a positive impact on our economy and bring jobs back to the United States, that I will support the Republican nominee.
Do you think that there is another Donald Trump when you have people like Phil Ruffin of Treasure Island, Steve Wynn, and Sheldon Adelson, all big supporters of Trump?
No, from what I've heard from individuals who know him personally and who've been with him in small meetings, that who he is in those situations is different than who he is when he's in front of a camera. So we'll wait and see. We'll have the conventions coming up in a few weeks. We'll wait to see what happens in August after the conventions are done and as we finish the sprint to November.
Will you be going to the convention?
I will not, primarily because I have military duty during part of that time, and I'll also be back in the state